Welcome to Car Scene Korea, everyone. And I am at Hyundai Motor Studio Goyang, and I'm here for this 2021 facelifted Santa Fe. But as you can see, it looks a little different. And this car is one and only for those of you Santa Fe fans. The photos of these cars has been roaming around the web, but I came down to capture it for you. I couldn't find a single video of this on YouTube, so I decided to come down. I actually did a video on Santa Fe, the facelifted, but then all of a sudden this car popped out from nowhere and it's being up on the display. So what I have over here is 2021 facelifted Santa Fe. They labeled it customizing show car, and the new Santa Fe has total of 27 items, and it has been inspired by the Dark Knight that we all know of, the Batman. So this is a car that has implemented the luxurious material Alcantara on a mid-sized SUV, trying to set the trends of the aftermarket automotive modifications. That's the purpose of this, and it's somewhat a testing bed for Hyundai and also this Santa Fe. Along with the end performance parts that the Santa Fe has, they also integrated the H genuine accessories. That's right here. Mostly stuff that is not performance related is H genuine parts, such as the displays you see over there, as well as some of these quilted seats and whatnot. There are a total of 19 items as a concept that they have thrown on this Santa Fe. That's including both the interior and exterior, with the aerodynamic that has things to do with the aerodynamics, which I'll show you in a bit, and brakes and chassis. I don't know if they are supposed to throw on the chassis over there, because I mean it's implemented on this facelifted Santa Fe anyway. And to be mass produced are 8 items, and that's including the shock absorbers with a spring. They could have just said it on suspensions, I guess, but they have separated the two. And also they made a highlight right there, big emphasis with a red color, that it's running on a different spring. And I see electric outlets over there, so this is adaptive suspension, that's for sure. Veloster N has it, so why not? And next up is the wheel caps. Wow, they actually had to label that. The rear side monitors that I just showed you a moment ago, the luggage mats, crossbar, maybe they're referring to the strut bars, let me double check on that, and the car mats. So those 8 items, let me read it out again: shock absorbers, springs, brakes, wheel caps, rear seat monitor, luggage mats, crossbar, and car mats are the items that are going to be produced. First, on the video that they have pointed out that are different parts from the original ones are this vent, and it's the most obvious one from the exterior, aside from the color, I personally think. And I took a very close look up close, but unfortunately it's fake vents. But I really do have a feeling that, judging from the way it's been designed and it's been located if you just cut the bonnet underneath and make a passage for the airflow, then, well, at least it will get rid of the heat from the engine, that's for sure. So cut that open, it will help the temperature of the engine drop by a little bit. All right, and next up, very distinctive difference is this front grille. Never seen before. We have not seen any accents of grills like this. And next up is the front of the grille right here. We've never seen that before on any other SUVs. And the vertical grille, I think I've seen that on Mercedes-Benz, the latest trends, I guess. But if you look up close, massive air hole. It's literally just some bars sitting there, and entire front of the car is just wide open. I can see the radiator, I can see the coolers just right here and there. You could directly see it. Same goes for the rear part as well. This part is just covered up. It's a mock cover, but I see sensors coming down, so if you throw on some options, probably you could activate the radar, or maybe they will give it to you later on. All right, so the grille and redesigned front bumper is what's different for this customizing show car 2021 Santa Fe. As for the front lip, it's carbon. Judging from the sound of the other material, this whole thing is not carbon. It's going to be heck of expensive if that's the case. So probably just the lid on top, and then they probably 3M taped it, which is the same for my Veloster and front lip as well. So that's that. But these part right here, just so you know, it's a genuine carbon. Although it's not the carbon piece as a whole, but at least they got the carbon over there. Would have been nice if they were going to go through the hassle of doing that. Maybe they could have done the same for this vertical grille with carbon and carbonized the crap out of this car. I like things being carbonized, and I think it's the same case for most of you guys. So getting back to this side mirror covers is carbon, and I am 100% sure it's just the cover that they put on. And so this is what they meant by the crossbar. Excuse me if you guys know about it, and I'm the only one who doesn't know. I never had this on my car in my life, so I don't even know what they're called. So crossbar, well, after all, this car is an SUV, sports utility vehicle, so yeah, that doesn't hurt. What's written next to the crossbar in brackets is that it is going to be manufactured. And moving on to the next item, which is the wheel cap that they have kindly pointed out, is they are also planned to be manufactured in near future. And they are running 21-inch rims. That's outrageous, I personally think. 265, 40, and 21. Well, I see it's a Michelin. I'll be even more surprised if they actually have thrown on PS4S. Maybe it's PS4. Oh, it's PS4S, but S with an SUV. I did not know that Pilot Sports have a different tire explicitly for SUVs. So the front size is 265, 40, 21. It's the same setup on the back and forth. It's a square setup, so I think it's going to be very efficient. I am more surprised by this, by the way. And for the record, I'm not going to touch it, but you see, with the PS4S or PS4, the latest one, Michelin has actually made this area into somewhat like a velvet type. So if you rub against it, you'll kind of feel that fabric feeling of the texture. It kind of, well, I think that to be interesting, and I actually rubbed against it when I first had my PS4S on. Next up is this side moldings, and they have engraved end performance on it, and like this little accent right here. And they have not color matched the side moldings, unlike this Santa Fe right here. Excuse me, I forgot the name of the trim, but if you go on a higher trim, they actually color match the molding to the body. But then you see, that's the case with this Santa Fe. And if you come over here and look at this one, the lower trim, it is just a piece of plastic. It's not color matched. So getting back to this show car, it is the same case with this top and bottom. All right, last but not least is this 4-piston monoblock front calipers. I keep saying this, but I got this on my Veloster N. I absolutely love it. Not a huge improvement from the original 1-piston brake that Veloster N has, people say. I did not try that out, so I don't really know, but that's what people say. Well, what I really like about this bigger brakes with more pistons, 4 in this case, is that you get the linear feedback from your brakes. So there is no sudden movement or gesture from the brakes. As you hit on the brakes, your foot brake, it will get back to you with the linear feedback. And I think that's like what really counts, and especially on a SUV like Santa Fe, and say that you have throw on the performance accent on it, then yes, you need bigger brakes. Bigger brakes never hurt. That's what I think personally. If you're looking into the market of upgrading your car or modifying your car, I strongly recommend that you start off with the brakes. They pay off. Starting from the bottom is this quad exhaust tip. Let's hope it's not a fake one. I see one over here. So the outlet is not a quad, it's just a single tip right here. So honestly, that part right there is fake. And hopefully, come on, you gotta have an exhaust here, and it doesn't. It does not. Well, instead it shows us the aftermarket spring directly, a red one. Well, that's what the bottom of the car looks like. And probably, well, not probably, I'm 100% sure it's because the engine that this car has is a diesel, because in Korea currently the gasoline models are not being sold. So come the turbo models, then of course there will be an exhaust, but unlikely it's going to be dual tipped on each side. I think it's just going to be a big one single exhaust tip, left and right, as we've seen on that one. Got the end performance engraved. I like that. And the carbon diffuser, just like the front, it is made out of carbon, but I'm pretty sure it's just 3M taped with bolts. For those of you who care, not an LED. And lastly, a spoiler, and it's not carbon. It is not carbon, except for the some little tip and end. So you see where there's some carbon tip accent starts. So only up until this part right here is carbon. So same case for the right side, and is carried down to here, but then that's it. The rest of the part is just the FRP. And what is really unique about this spoiler is this double scoop. And every time I see a double scoop or double bubble, Supra, Supra. Well, getting back to this. All right, so double scoop, double bubble, not a bubble, I don't know. I don't even know what they're going to call it, or even if it has a name for it. But anyhow, that's what the spoiler looks like on top of the original one. and it is not an add-on, or it could be, I really don't know, but I really doubt that. So it's not going to be an add-on to the original spoiler, but rather this entire spoiler will come off as a whole piece and be added on top. So let me just give you a quick comparison to this spoiler to the original one. So you know what I mean? I kind of suspected that the two piece of the spoilers could go on top and you bolt it down, but it's very unlikely. It will just be replaceable one-to-one. Take this off and put this on. All right, so that's enough of the exterior. That's the rear seat monitor that they talked about, and I really wish I could show you the inside with just so much reflection. So I'm trying my best. They're not showing the interior. Well, they are. I can't open up a door. That's a problem. So that's the carbon steering wheel that they have put on, as they have said. And I really hope it's not those aftermarket carbon steering wheel that we see on web lately, you know, covered up with God knows what material inside, and just you know, wrapping it or just coloring it on top of carbon. Well, it's Hyundai, so I really doubt that they're going to do it. So carbon steering wheel along with the quilted seats, and we've seen this type of a car before the Veloster and Performance parts actually debuted. So for those that remember, you know what, they are up on a display upstairs. So let me go and quickly show